Hello, Scorpio. This is Selena Hart, and today I want to speak directly to that part of you that's been feeling everything more intensely than usual. If you found yourself more reactive lately, quick to tears, quick to anger, overwhelmed by sudden waves of emotion, you're not unraveling. You're being prepared. Your heart is not falling apart. It's expanding. You're not being punished by your sensitivity. You're being invited into a deeper version of yourself, one that can hold more love, more truth, more power than ever before. Scorpio, I know you're used to keeping things buried, to navigating life with layers of protection wrapped tightly around your feelings. But right now, those layers are thinning not because you're weak, but because you no longer need them. This emotional intensity you're feeling is not chaos. It's calibration. You're being tuned to a higher emotional frequency because something is approaching your life that will require every bit of your depth, every ounce of your truth, and every drop of your courage. And while it may feel like too much at times, what's actually happening is a sacred kind of strengthening, one that emerges not from controlling your emotions, but from standing inside of them, grounded and unafraid. You were never meant to live halfway. Scorpio, you weren't born to be moderate or muted. You were born to feel deeply, to lead through presence, and to transform others simply by living from your emotional core. So if the days feel heavy and your heart feels raw, remind yourself, this isn't a breakdown. It's an awakening. You are being called into a new role, not by force, but by frequency. The very intensity that shakes you now is the same force that will empower you to guide others out of numbness and back into feeling. This is how your influence grows, not through control, but through authenticity, not by being untouchable, but by being profoundly real. And this is where it all comes together. Scorpio, everything you've survived, everything you've suppressed, every moment you thought your emotions were too much, all of it has led here. You're being prepared not just to receive something powerful, but to hold it, embody it, and become the kind of presence that shifts every room you enter. Your emotions are not your enemy. They are your compass. And the more you learn to trust their wisdom, the more you will realize this intensity is not a storm to weather. It's a signal that your soul knows exactly where you're going, long before your mind can make sense of it. So hold on, stay open, and let this sacred transformation do its work. You are not being undone. You are being made ready. And Scorpio, let's be clear, these emotions that rise without warning, the sudden tears that have no obvious source, the bursts of rage that seem out of proportion, and the almost unbearable joy that floods your chest at the most unexpected times. These are not signs of dysfunction. They are evidence that something within you is breaking open so that more life can move through you. You are not unraveling. You are being expanded. Your nervous system, you're being asked to trust them as sacred messengers, guiding you toward alignment, toward wholeness, toward your most embodied self. Scorpio, this is emotional initiation. It's the unlocking of a deeper level of perception that allows you not only to feel more, but to be more honest, more present, more alive. Your emotions aren't asking you to fix them. They're asking you to listen. And the more you lean in, the more you'll realize that this intensity isn't just energy moving through you, it's energy preparing to move through others, through your voice, through your presence, through the way you love and lead. So no, these wild emotions are not a problem to be solved. They are a sacred signal that you're ready to start living from the truth of who you are, not from the shell of who you had to be to survive. And when you stop fighting them, when you start honoring them, they will reveal what they've been trying to show you all along. That your depth is not a burden, it's your gift. That your ability to feel this deeply is not a flaw, it's your initiation into a life more powerful, more connected, and more meaningful than anything you've known before. Keep breathing. Scorpio, you're not breaking down. You're breaking through, and as your emotional world continues to expand. Scorpio, if you're not just being asked to feel, you're being called to lead. But this isn't the kind of leadership that demands control or titles or outward displays of strength. This is the rare kind that emerges from presence, from depth, from the quiet but unshakable authority of someone who has felt it all and is still standing. You are being activated to lead from the heart, not through force, not through strategy, but through the sheer power of your authenticity. This isn't about convincing others to follow you. It's about becoming someone who is so aligned with their own truth that others are naturally drawn to you, not because you seek their attention, but because your energy gives them permission to become more of themselves. You are stepping into a season where your emotional transparency becomes your superpower, where the way you hold space, the way you speak truth, the way you choose tenderness in moments when it would be easier to shut down, that becomes your form of leadership. And it won't always look dramatic or grand. In fact, it will often be quiet, even unnoticed by the outside world. But its impact will be undeniable. You are being positioned to be the kind of person others look to when they've lost their own center, when they need to remember what it means to feel deeply without being consumed, to stand in vulnerability without collapsing. For Scorpios born between the 23rd of October and the 1st of November, this call to lead may come in the form of a sudden opportunity to guide others, perhaps in a work setting, a community space, or even within your own family. You'll notice people starting to seek your insight, not because you speak loudly, but because your presence carries a kind of grounded wisdom that they trust. For those born between the 2nd of November and the 12th of November, your emotional frequency is drawing in a deeply transformative relationship or creative collaboration, something that stirs your soul, pushes your edges, and invites you to express yourself more fully than you ever have before. And for Scorpios, born between the 13th of November and the 21st of November, and you are being asked to bring your unique talents to the surface, and not just for your own fulfillment, but because they are meant to move others. Your gifts are no longer meant to live in the shadows. They are meant to serve. All of this, Scorpio, is not happening at random. It is precise, intentional, and sacred. You are being prepared not to overpower, but to empower, to embody the kind of strength that is rooted not in control, but in emotional truth. And that truth, when lived out loud, becomes a force that quietly reshapes the world around you. This is your season of stepping forward, not because you're ready in the way the world defines readiness, but because your soul knows it's time. And here is the deeper invitation. Scorpio, one your soul has been waiting for. You are being asked to dismantle the emotional walls you've built, not because they were wrong, but because they have served their purpose. You built them to survive. You constructed them carefully to navigate a world that often felt too harsh, too shallow, too unready for the truth of who you are. But now, those walls are becoming too small for the size of your spirit. They are no longer protecting you, they are restricting you. And this current wave of emotional intensity is your inner self whispering, sometimes screaming, that it's time to be free. Free from the need to suppress your passion to make others comfortable. Free from the belief that you have to be quiet to be safe. Free from the lie that your truth is too much to be loved. This is not a call to be reckless. It's a call to be whole, to bring all of you into the light, your softness, your shadows, your longing, your power. It's time to stop editing yourself so you can fit into environments that were never designed to hold someone like you. The world doesn't need a diluted Scorpio. It needs your fullness, your richness, your intensity, not in fragments, but in full presence. And yes, that will challenge people. Yes, some will call it too emotional or too intense because they haven't yet learned to face their own depth. But you're not here to dim your light to make others feel okay about staying in the dark. You're here to shine in such a way that others remember they have light too. So this is the moment, Scorpio, the one where you stop holding back your truth to preserve false peace. The one where you stop shrinking to fit into rooms that can't hold your brilliance. The one where you begin to love not with hesitation, not with conditions, but with the kind of raw, unfiltered, courageous love that only someone who has known pain and chosen to heal anyway can offer. You are not meant to survive love. You are meant to live it, to pour it into every space you enter, to let it guide your art, your work, your words, your silences, and the moment you give yourself permission to be that version of you, the unrestrained, unapologetic, emotionally sovereign Scorpio, the world begins to open in ways it never has before. Because nothing is more magnetic than someone who is no longer afraid of their own fire. And now, Scorpio, comes the final call, not a warning, but a promise. What you are feeling in your bones, in your breath, in the quiet spaces between your thoughts, is not chaos. It is direction. The intensity that keeps rising within you as you are, from your deepest tenderness to your fiercest fire. Scorpio, the emotions that surge within you right now are not interruptions to your path. They are the path. Every ache, every surge of love, every sharp moment of clarity that leaves you breathless is shaping you for what comes next. You are not meant to disappear into the background. You are not here to keep playing small so that others feel comfortable. You are here to create a life that is unapologetically yours, rich in feeling, drenched in color, vibrating with purpose. And the beautiful truth is, the world needs exactly what you are. Not a polished version, not a muted one, but the raw, real, powerful soul who has walked through fire and chosen to rise with her heart still open. So hold steady, even when it's hard. Trust the process, even when it makes no sense. Because something extraordinary is unfolding beneath the surface, and when it fully arrives, you will understand that none of this was random, that every tear, every tremor, every moment you thought you were falling apart was actually a moment of becoming. You're not being broken. Scorpio, you're being forged into someone who doesn't just survive life, but someone who leaves behind beauty, meaning, and memory wherever she goes. This is not the end. It's the beginning of the life that was always waiting for you, the one only you were meant to live. If this message has stirred something in you, Scorpio, if you've felt seen, felt held, or even just understood for a moment, then trust that it wasn't by accident. Your soul brought you here because it's ready to release the old stories, ready to feel without apology, ready to lead with the quiet fire only you carry. So as you move through the coming days, let your emotions guide you and not define you. Let them teach you what alignment feels like. Let them remind you that your depth was never meant to be hidden, it was meant to lead. And if the waves get strong again, remember, you are not drowning. You are rising into the most powerful, most honest, most unforgettable version of who you are. Until next time, I take gentle care of that sacred heart of yours. This is Selena Hart, and I'll meet you again when the stars have more to say.